Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. I am so sorry. You know what? I just got doing I was just trying to fill my time and then boop, there you go. It was time to start class and I was daydreaming. So sorry. Good morning, Renate. One of these days, I swear, I will pronounce it correctly on the first pass through. So we have lots to cover today because we are doing an artist study, and that's always, there's always kind of a lot going on with that. And I have some other things to share with you. And let's see. Everybody make sure you have a big drink. I have the most... Good morning, Jan. How are you this morning? I have the most beautiful bouquet that Tessa brought me. And I don't know how I'm going to be able to share it with you, but just a sec because they're tall. So just give me a sec. So I don't, let's see. This flower, maybe I just need to pull it out. Look at this flower. I am telling you right this minute, I cannot wait to draw this. Look at this. So Tessa went to a place called the Arizona Flower Mart in downtown with her mom who was visiting. And they brought me this beautiful bouquet. And this is the star of the show, this gorgeous flower, which I don't remember the name, but I will share it with you when I'll look it up and I'll share it with you. Look at it. It is so, so, so gorgeous. Well, Jan, I am sorry that you're getting snow. My parents arrived home in the UP on Saturday night, and they said they had less snow, but there was still snow. But I think it had rained a lot while they were gone, so that, that always helps melt the snow. And what else is in this bouquet? There are some really pretty little teeny daisies. I don't know what those are called. Aren't they gorgeous? And these beautiful carnations. I love a carnation. I love a carnation because they smell beautiful, they last long, and they're just like layers and layers and layers. I just love that. Anyway, I just had to share that little sunshine with everyone. Another thing that's super cool is that my new stamp design from Unity releases today, and it is called You're Extraordinary. I just stamped it a couple times. I was so going to have a card done, but you know what? I hope you understand. Life just gets complicated, doesn't it? So I wanted to share a cool thing that Unity does. So this is the stamp that's releasing today. It's called You're Extraordinary, and it's by Unity Stamp Co. And it is just, I love it. Because you know what? It's flowers. I love me some flowers. Why do you think I got to go down to that Arizona Flower Mart? Inspiration overload, I think. So Keely, when you come, we'll have to go there for a little field trip. Okay, so here, when you go to, so everybody except Jan, because she's a uni, but if you go to Unity Stamp Co., there are some steps to get to my stamps. There are three horizontal lines in the upper left corner. Click on that, and then you'll click on Shop Products. Then you'll click on Stamps. Then you'll click on Shop by Artist, and then you'll click on my name. And that's the coolest because then you see everything, like everything that I created is all, it's the coolest. It just makes me feel like $1,000,000. So anyway, that is one announcement that I wanted to share with everybody this morning. Another announcement that I wanted to share is this Saturday we are starting our next session of Artsy Alchemy. This one is Artsy Alchemy 2. And we are going to be playing with bleeding tissue paper. We're going to be creating a mandala, but I'm also going to show you some other cool things that you can do with bleeding art tissue. And so I really encourage everyone to sign up for that class because it is 3 months of class for $25. 3 months of art journaling for $25. And I try to pack it with as much information and fun as I possibly can. So, bleeding art tissue is available through your local art supply store or Amazon. And it is just such a fun, versatile art tool. Seriously, we're going to have ourselves a time. So that is this Saturday. Registration is still open for Artsy Alchemy 2. And that's the 3-month class, like I said. And Sunday we will be creating even more art because we are going to be creating this page. It is I created a full page of art for this entry. I printed on vellum, and I've been just really intrigued with printing on vellum and all of the different ways that we can play with that. And so I can't wait to share how I applied color with this. And then some hand lettering, of course. Anyway, I can hardly wait. And this crinkly page just gives me all the feels. So know that registration is open for that too. Let's get artsy with our Bibles. April 2022. All on my website, which is Corbiere-Scott Designs.com. And please, if you would, so just, you're going to go there and you're going to look under featured classes. Those three horizontal lines are up in the upper left corner again. Some people call that a hamburger in the techie world. Anyway, you're going to click on that and then you're going to find featured classes, and then every class that I've ever taught is there that I've taught through myself. Some classes that I've taught through other entities are not listed there, but my classes are listed there, and every class that I've taught is still available. So if you missed something somewhere down the line, you can take any of those classes anytime, and you will get into the private Facebook group, and you'll still have access to everything. The videos, the art printables, everything. So just know that. Oh, and now let's talk about today's artist of the day. Good morning, Lynn. Oh, and if you would follow and like and subscribe to Corbiere-Scott Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, I would greatly appreciate that. And then please ask to join our private Facebook group, Let's Get Artsy with Corbiere-Scott. There are lots of things that I can do in the private group that I can't do on the business page. And I didn't know that when I started the business page, so, you learn as you go. But let's talk about Queenie McKenzie. So Queenie McKenzie, we have covered her in the past, and she is quite the girl, and I can hardly wait to share all about her with you. She is an Aboriginal artist from Australia, and she is super talented and like a national treasure. They named her, let me just get to the pictures of her artwork, and then I can, so here she is, and I will get my notes out. She was born in 1920. She died in 1998, so she lived quite a life. She's an Indigenous Australian artist, considered one of the best contemporary Indigenous Australian artists, named a state living treasure the year of her death. I'm telling you, she's just, she's so talented. So, you know, much like the American Indians, they, in Australia, the Aborigines were, government took them from their native lands and tried to assimilate them. And somehow Queenie was never taken from her family as part of the official policy of assimilation. She had no mission education. Her background is truly that of a traditional Aboriginal, having spent her childhood being taught the practical knowledge of managing cattle and riding horses. I mean, that's kind of, if you know anything about, oh, here we go. Look at her stuff. I encourage you to all look her up and see her artwork. It is just stupendous. She would grow up to work with health and female service organizations before taking up painting in, are you ready for it? 1990. 1990. She died in 1998. So her paintings were there for, she painted for 8 years. So it is never too late. It is never too late to follow your dream and pursue your passion. Never, never, never too late. She used natural earth pigments around her to create representations of landscapes that have ended up in galleries and collections all over the world. Exactly, Tam. Exactly. Oh, Jennifer. Maud Lewis, she was something else too, wasn't she? Oh my gosh. I just love a powerful girl, don't you? Her favorite subject was termite mounds. That the repetitive use of the mounds is often give her art an abstract feel. So you'll see that her art is consists of a lot of dots, and the Aboriginal dot art is a language in itself. Okay, let's see. So here's some more mounds. Look at that. There's some hills. But do you see the dots play such a prominent role in the art? Good morning, Laura. So glad to have you with us. Look at that. Let's see if I can blow that up. I just love it. Aboriginal dot art is a language in itself. Communicating through beautiful patterns, it has been found on stones that archaeologists have dated to 60,000 years ago. I mean, come on. Is that the coolest thing? The palettes are often warm and neutral. Locally sourced natural materials were originally used, and they call it ochre painting. And so like ochre is yellow, iron clay was red and white, and black was charcoal. I love that. So let's see, what else can I tell you about her? So cooey is a prolonged, shrill, clear call or cry used to signal by Aboriginal inhabitants of Australia and adopted by the settlers in the country. It means come here, kui. And I will tell you that many Native American tribes have a similar trill. Lots of African tribes have a trill that they use to communicate. I know that some native tribes to America say li 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 li. So it's so interesting to me how all of these indigenous peoples are connected in such a way, and that sometimes those things become part of the greater, not community, what do I want to say? Just the greater world, you know what I mean? So I have a couple of Queenie quotes to give you. Are you ready? Every rock, every hill, every water, I know that place backwards and forwards, and up and down, inside and out. It's my country, and I got names for every place. I just love that. I love that. Let's see. Let's go back a little bit. Texas Hills, because she was born in a place called Texas Station, Australia. And so I'm just madly in love with her. Just as there are many homes, there are many journeys home. Each one of us will have a different journey from anyone else. The journey home is mostly ongoing and in some ways never completed. It is a process of discovery and recovery. I just thought that was brilliant. So let's get our art journals out. And I'll share with you how. So I decided that I was going to create my tribute to Queenie right along with you. And so, I gotta find it. I started it. And by starting it, I just created a 6x6 box like we did with Klimt. And there we go. I just created a 6x6 box and I wrote her name, Queenie McKenzie. And then I wrote today's date. And so within this box, I'm going to pay tribute to her. And so I will, I'm going to put some paper behind here just so I catch anything. But you remember we've had this conversation about how sometimes when something is in your consciousness, all of a sudden you see it everywhere. So while my mom was here, my mom is a quilter, and while my mom was here, we went shopping. She likes to go to Modern Quilting because that's a local quilting store here. They always have unusual fabrics, and so we went there and we were just wandering around, and that day happened to be Fat Tuesday. So they have this sale every Tuesday called Fat Tuesday, where you buy 3 fat quarters and you get 1 free. Bye, Tam. I sure hope you're feeling better. I sure hope you're feeling better. That just stinks, doesn't it? So anyway, while I'm wandering around the store, I see Aboriginal dot fabric. Yeah, you heard me. So look at this. I picked up this fat quarter knowing that we're going to be studying this today. Look at this. Look at this. I just fell in love with it. I just had to have it. And it is not in traditional Aboriginal colors. So know that you can take the idea of Queenie's art and create your own creation with that style, right? So like this, they took the idea of Aboriginal art and they just went for it. And it's just the series of dots that just get me every time. So pick your own palette, pick your own composition. I am going to leave this right here and to be my inspiration for what I fill my square with. Isn't it gorgeous, Laura? I just fell in love with it. Everybody take a drink. So I'm going to start with a pencil because I kind of have an idea, but I don't have it all the way worked out just yet. And so I really like this circle on circle on circle idea. And so, and I kind of liked these wavy lines that are filled with the circles. So I'm kind of thinking about that. I'm kind of thinking about some of Queenie's art, how she filled her her space with, hi Gretchen, isn't that, I'm telling you. So let's fill our space however we choose with Aboriginal dot art and pay tribute to gorgeous Queenie. So I am going to get my pencil ready, and I'm just going to start with a circle. And I'm doing all freehand because an Aboriginal would absolutely not have a compass or, you know, any tools other than, you know, their hands. So that's what I'm going to do. But you do you. Do you know what I'm saying? I want you to just embrace the art form. So I noticed that sometimes they have like an outer circle that's filled with lines. I'm digging that too. Because I don't know exactly where I want to go with this. That's why I am keeping mine in pencil first. I'm loving that. And then we can do smaller circles. I just like it to be cohesive, and you'll know it. You'll know if it's cohesive to you by just the feeling you get as you are creating it, as you step back and take a look at it. Hey, Michelle, how are you? Are you still across the pond? I loved it there. I loved it there. I didn't get to go to Scotland yet, but I will someday soon. Jeff's like, where do you want to go? And I'm like, anywhere, anywhere. I want to go explore anywhere. Anywhere new and exciting and, you know. The Isle of Skye. Doesn't that sound exotic? I bet it's green and lovely and lush. So Keely, I was just telling everybody, are you just tuning in now? Because I was just telling everybody that Tessa, I found a place for us to visit while you're here. Tessa went to a place called Arizona Flower Mart, and it is spectacular. So I thought we could go on a little field trip there. So today we are paying tribute to Queenie McKenzie. I found this fabric at Modern Quilting Heels, which I'm sure we'll probably go to while you're here. There we go. So now I am just playing with my idea of how I want to fill my square with a, you know. Oh my gosh, Lynn, do you really? Have you been to Australia? Or do you live in Australia? Where do you live, Lynn? Oh, that's interesting, Michelle. That's interesting that you liked Scotland more than Ireland. Huh. Well, I'll have to pick your brain about that more. I think I want to do like I want to fill it with circles. Let's go out. I should have done this in pen first, but you know, just gone for it, but whatever. Remember, we don't need to rush any of this. Just taking our time. And it's quite meditative, I think, to just do a series of dots. Hi, Linda McGee. Hey, Renee. How are you this morning? So happy to see you. So we are paying tribute to Ms. Queenie McKenzie, an Aboriginal artist from Australia. That's so cool, Lynn. That's so cool. I bet you it's gorgeous. Will you post a picture of it to the private Facebook group? We would all love to see it. And I will just tell you, this was a whole line of fabrics, and it is by M&S Textiles, Australia. But there were many colors. There were many patterns. I just bought one, and it was a hard decision. And I didn't take one picture. Whatever. I don't know why. I just didn't. Let's see. I just find this so relaxing to just draw these circles and circles and circles. And I just thought it would be fun to create right alongside you. As you're creating, I'm creating. The only thing I drew was my square. And I put my title and my date. But other than that, I wanted to walk through the process right alongside you. Let's go around. Kind of like this. It makes it kind of look like this funky, abstracty zinnia, or one of those other flowers that are just full of puff. Do you know what I mean? Layers and layers and layers of petals. I just love that. And I don't know if I'm going to paint mine. Well, I thought about doing like a layer of paint and then some colored pencils. The my stamp that I stamped last night, I was feeling really feeling colored pencils last night, so I just really started coloring with colored pencils and blending, and oh, that makes me so happy. So I've kind of had colored pencils on my mind. I think I want these to be all different size circles too. Like maybe let's make this center really big. That might be something kind of cool to do. And then just more circles. Remember, you do not have to finish this today. You just need to finish it when it's the right time for you. Just take your time. I have lots of art journaling entries that are always a work in progress. And they should be. And I have stuff that I thought I was finished with, and then I'll turn back and I'll go back and add some white pen, or go back and add some more color, or whatever the case may be. Everybody take a drink. So don't ever feel like you have to finish it right away. An art journal is for working out ideas, working out different processes, like working out if you get a new medium. So say you get art crayons for the first time. That's what your art journal is for. Trying to use them in different ways. Like, do I want to use them wet on wet? Do I want to apply some water and then wet the end of my art crayon in some water and then play with that? Do I want to use them dry? Do I want to use them like paint? All of those things, just create a little entry in your art journal. I'm telling you, it's the greatest tool, I think. Because you know that it is a practice book, right? It's a journey book, right? A journey of artistic growth and let's do this one really small. It's a place for you to just experiment and play, and you can journal in it too, right? So you can write your feelings down or your thoughts about different things, and then you can paint over it. So you got it out, because there's something so cathartic, isn't there, about getting those thoughts out of your head and putting them down on paper. But then that process is done, and then you can just paint over it. If you don't want anyone to know it, or if you don't want others to see it, that's your prerogative, right? And your art journal is your art journal. If you want to share it, you absolutely can, but don't ever feel pressure to share it. Okay, I'm just filling in some circles as I go around. So just really think about, I'm just thinking about patterning, but the Aborigines, they saw patterning in their surroundings. So you may find inspiration from that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you may find inspiration in patterning that surrounds you. So let's do this one, a big one too. And I don't know what I'm going to do in the centers of those, and I don't need to decide it just right now. You know, like always, I like the, by doing these meditative steps, that gives me time to ponder. Like, where do I want to go with this? What do I want to say? You know? Maybe I don't want to say anything. Maybe I want to just create for the sake of creating, right? Either way, it's okay. And remember, it doesn't have to look like anything. I think sometimes we get ourselves so caught up in the thought that it needs to look like a flower or look like a cloud or look like whatever. It doesn't. It can just be art for the sake of art. It doesn't have to be the world's greatest painting. Oh, Lynn, that sounds awesome. That's right. You are in Goodyear. You are. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Now I remember. Now I remember. I'm telling you, I just feel so at peace when I create like this. There's just something about it, isn't there? And remember, this is pencil, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And remember, it's just a guide, right? It doesn't have to be the exact thing that the exact way you want your image to be. It can be, oh, I've seen some of those rocks with that dot art, which is just stupendous. I did do one for one time when I was back home with my sister. My mom and dad and I all painted rocks to go on the headstones of our relatives in Sault Ste. Marie, where my family is from. And one of them I did the dot art. It wasn't Aboriginal, obviously, but it was sure fun. So I'm going to finish this, and then I'm going to read our today's segment of the comfort book. I am ever so grateful to my pal Keely for sending that to me. It has helped me tremendously, as I hope it helps all of you that have bought it also. It's just, I find it so thought-provoking, and that's always a good thing, right? So here we go. The subject in the sentence. And yes, we might feel others are judging our worth via metrics like income and follower counts and weight and chest measurements and all of the rest of it. But always remember, we are more than can be measured. We are life itself. We aren't the narrow band of feelings in a single moment. We are the vessel that could contain any feeling. We are the subject in the sentence. We are more than the sum of our achievements. We are more than the feelings we witness. We are the infinity that remains when you subtract them. I just love that. You are more. We are all more. Let's take a drink. Mm-hmm. I think loving that. So pretty. Let's do another big ring. We can do our lines. And so I'm just thinking about how I'm going to do my fill, right? All of this stuff. I think I really want some movement in mine. And so I want to do some half images here, right? So I'll do some started like that. Then maybe I do one that's starts here, but just kind of goes off the edge, a little offset. I kind of dig that idea. Right? I'm kind of liking these with like bunches of just clusters of circles. I just love that. Like it just is really quite organic. Right? So then, and then this is going to go just right off the edge. Right? And that's kind of fun. And it could even go underneath this one. And that's kind of cool. So there we go. We're starting to get some dimension and a little bit of movement and form. Right? But I also wanted some other kind of movement, right? So I'm feeling like, what if my circles, I just very lightly draw lines like this. And so my circles, my background circles, fill in like this. And some can touch, like some are close, and some are far away. So we'll just do one here. And now this next line, let's have them be further away. So I'm just going to, right, so let's do here, and then here, and then here, right? And here, And here's the other thing. It could be, they could be this one and then some little ones, right? So you could get some cool patterning going. And that's fun. And so you could play this up with color, or maybe do the background in tones of gray, and the images that you created, maybe have them in tones of pink or tones of green or whatever. So just know you can add so much. I'm gonna do this one there and there and there. You can just continue to just create so much with this. So what if this one we have great big, and they're touching, right? And here's the other thing. It doesn't have to, the whole background doesn't have to be this. The whole background could be, how am I doing on time? The whole background could be all different backgrounds, right? So like we could have a background that goes here, 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 then here, here. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we could have this background that goes like this. And I kind of love this idea of just creating all different kinds of patterning. Right? And then I'm going to come in and do a second row. The same thing. And you're going to really play this up with the application of color. Right? I'm already starting to see the movement, and it's making me so happy. Do more here. There we go. What do you think? I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Oh, we could do the same thing up here. Create a background that goes here, 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 right? Yep, yep, yep. I'm loving it already. I hope you are too. So I feel like I need to do something down here, maybe another half kind of image, half circle. Oh, I'm kind of getting into my flow state here. I can feel myself. That's the greatest feeling, isn't it? When you can just let yourself go. I find it beneficial for my whole day when I can just have moments of this, right? And that's the beauty of an art journal. An art journal, these art journals are small enough that you could take it with you wherever you go, right? Because this is hours of work ahead of me, right? I'm going to create my composition, then I'm going to go over with pencil, then I'm going to go over it with my pen, and then I'm going to go over it with some color, and maybe I want to do layers of color because you know I do. Just know that, and so this is going to bring me endless joy. And that's exactly what I want art to do for you. I want it to bring you endless joy in the creating, in the pondering, in the painting, in the drawing, in the all of it, all of it. And I want you to go learn more about Queenie McKenzie. And I promise you, the more you learn, the more you're going to just see it in your life. You'll see Aboriginal dot art someplace. You'll see at the quilt shop or at a museum or just any, you know, it could be on a billboard. You never know. And your life is just richer for it. Everybody take a drink. Oh, that was a loud swallow. Sorry about that. Hey, Charlene. How are you today? I'm so glad you're here. Just be sure to watch this one in its entirety because it's an artist study series and you'll want to know all about Queenie McKenzie. Oh, I'm so sorry you're going for a funeral. Buck, buck, buck. But there is something, I was just having a conversation with someone just yesterday actually about all of the little graduations we take in life, you know, and how all of those little graduations carry us on to the next, right? And so, and a funeral, as horrible and sad as it is, it's a step that we need to take because I'm sure you've all lost people from far away. And then it's hard to process that. It's hard to process that loss when you don't have anything kind of tangible to hook it to in your head. That's what I believe. You know, I'm not speaking for all of mankind or anything. I'm just saying I find it to be in a weird way comforting. Oh, Vicky, 95. So just imagine what she saw in her life. Holy smokes. Yes, Lantana does look an awful lot like this, doesn't it? It absolutely does. It absolutely does, Lynn. My friend Joni has the prettiest lantana bush in front of her house. And I will just tell you, I take pictures of it almost every time I visit her. Or I snip a couple little flowers and bring them home to just gaze at them. Hey, Julie, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we are doing an artist study today. We are studying Queenie McKenzie, an Aboriginal artist from Australia. And we're just paying tribute to her this morning. Golly, 95 years, right? That's almost 100 years ago. So think about all of the things how our country grew and changed. And so I discovered Queenie. I discovered her years ago, and I am always studying artists. I am always studying artists. And my father is indigenous to this country, and so indigenous peoples are always very interesting to me because they were the first people, right? And their art forms came in such a natural way, right? Their beading, their clay work, their basketry, their paintings. And so I was just on a little artist search, like I often do, and I found Queenie, and she just fascinated me. And I really like girl artists. I really like I was just having this conversation with my mom. Girl artists, especially those who came up in a time when it was a tough row to hoe as a woman, right? That they weren't expected to make a living at being an artist, or they should be married and raising children and all of those things, but they persevered. I love that. I just love a strong woman, and especially women who don't start their careers until way later in life. I mean, think about Queenie painted for 8 years, the last 8 years of her life. How amazing is that? Right? I mean, just that it is never too late. I don't want anyone to ever feel like it's too late to follow your passion. It's never too late. And remember, you're making art for yourself. For yourself. I got this pin a long time ago, and it's just I've always wanted to do something with the phrase. Hi, Deborah. How are you this morning? Where are you coming from? Where are you watching from? So anyway, the pin says, "Be you, not them," and that has just stuck with me. Whenever you start to feel insecure about whatever the circumstances are in your life. Ooh, Maryland, how are you this morning? What's the weather like there? Do you still have snow? Yeah, so be you, not them. I just love that. Whenever you're starting to feel less than, just remember, there's only one you. And, you are made uniquely. I'm kind of at a point where I don't know where I want to move next. Oh, I'm sorry it's windy and cold, but I'm glad you're inside, hopefully making art in your art journal with us. If you are brand new here, if you would follow, like, and subscribe to Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, I would greatly appreciate that. All of my art printables and classes are on AnnCorbiereScottDesigns.com. And then please ask to join our private Facebook group, Let's Get Artsy with Ann Corbiere-Scott. Deborah, I am in Arizona. I live in Arizona, but I was born and raised in Michigan. So two totally different places on the earth. It will be released today, Tam. It is the name of it is You're Extraordinary, as I think all of you are extraordinary. We are all extraordinary, right? And it is releasing today. Remember to shop Unity. You go to unitystampco.com, go to the hamburger up in the upper left corner, click it, and then click Shop Products, then click Stamps, then click Shop by Artist, then click and Corbiere-Scott. And you will find You're Extraordinary. And where's the, I have a piece where I just stamped the, I stamped the sentiment a whole bunch of times, as you can see. I just kept stamping. I have, I have all of these because I want to play with different, different color schemes and different mediums. So I want to paint some and I want to color some with colored pencils and I don't know, whatever strikes my fancy. It looks like time is almost up. I apologize for being a little bit late this morning. I wish I could tell you that something fantastic was happening, but I was just fiddling around. I'm so sorry. Remember that Thursday we are going to be art journaling, so we'll be in our art journals again on Thursday. If you're brand new here, art journals are a composition book that we create in once a week, sometimes twice a week, during this free class every Tuesday and Thursday. Sometimes we create cards with my art printables or the stamps that I draw, and sometimes we create in our art journal. But get yourself a composition book if you're brand new here, and we will fill it up before you know it. And so then once you fill it up, guess what? You can go buy another composition book and we'll just keep creating. Like I said, we have pages and pages and pages of art that we've already created in here and that we will continue to create in here. And then once it's filled, we will start anew. So I hope everybody is inspired by the amazing Queenie McKenzie, and you will go find out more about her and, just look her up, pay tribute to her, be inspired by her as the amazing woman that she was. And remember that it is never too late. It is never too late. I adore you all. I'm so grateful. Thank you so, so very much for taking time out of your day to hang with me and create art with me. If you are visiting this on the replay, let me know. Say hello in the comments and tell me where you're coming from, where you're watching from. And just leave a comment. It helps me. It does. I adore you all. I try really hard to at least like everybody's comments. Cecilia, how are you? How are you? Oh my gosh, we haven't hung in a long time. Well, thank you, Lynn. I hope everybody had a great time, and I hope that you learned something new today, and you will remember what we read about in the comfort book. And just have an amazing, amazing day. Remember, I have Stitch Along tomorrow. If you are a stitcher or you just want to chat, we do a half an hour of slow stitching and easy conversation on my Stitch the States with Ann Corbiere-Scott private Facebook group. You can join at any time, where I stitch my state embroidery patterns that I've drawn for Adorn It. So have an amazing Tuesday, and just make some art. Go observe. Go look for flowers that are inspiring, or colors that are inspiring, or sounds or smells. We got this great big world about us. I adore you all. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you either tomorrow or Thursday. Bye, everyone.